Hello. Okay, so we're drafting the pattern for the peach dress. Okay, I believe you can do the sketch yourself, so I don't really have to do the sketch, so you can do the sketch part very well. Okay, so we're just gonna draft for the upper part. All right. I think I was deciding whether to go horizontal or vertical here. Okay, so the first thing you want to take is your bust point. So I'm using my measurements. The bust point is 10 inches. Okay, bust point is 10 inches, as you can see. Then the next thing you want to take is your under bust, which is 13. Then the next thing you want to take is your waistline. Okay, and the waistline for corset is 5 inches. The waistline for corset is 5 inches. Now you can decide to do 4 inches, but the waistline for corset is 5 inches. Please don't forget that. And then due to the design we are making, we are going down by 8 inches. All right, and then 1 inch allowance. Okay, so because the design, for that design, I think the design for the upper part, that's the corset, it got to the hip. All right, it's a base corset, a side base corset. Okay, so I'm just repeating the same thing on the other side so I can get a straight line. Okay, so you connect them together, you connect the lines together, Okay, so here we are done with the lines. The next thing you want to consider is your shoulder. So in this case, I'm using 7. I love using 7. So just measure your shoulder, divide it into 2. All right, and measure it the way I'm doing it right now. Okay, then the next thing I'm taking here right now is my armhole line. All right, my armhole line, and is 8 inches. My armhole line and is 8 inches. Sorry, my armhole length rather, and is 8 inches. And so that's that line I'm creating now. This line I'm creating now will now be our chest line. I'm gonna label it soon. Okay, it will now be our chest line. So this is just to guide us for our armhole, basically. All right, so okay, so here you label that place the chest line. Then the next one is the bust line. The next one is the under bust line, and then the last one is the waist line. The waistline, and then we have the base, that's the bottom of our corset. Okay, all right, moving on. The next thing we want to do right now is we divide our nipple to nipple measurements into 2. So for my case it's 7 inches, so I divided into 2, that's 3.5. okay, so I'll take that 3.5 all the way down. All right, I'll take the 3.5 all the way down. All right, and then I will connect the dots just like I'm doing right now. You connect the dots. You connect the dots. You connect the dots. Okay, the next thing you want to do is from your under bust, okay, from your under bust, you want to measure. That's from your bust point now, all right, from your bust point to your under bust, you want to measure what you have. All right, so what I have here now is 3 inches. So from my bust point to my under bust is giving me 3 inches. So that 3 inches, I'm going to take it all round. All right, 3 inches all round, like a circle. All right, that 3 inches from the bust point, I take it all round just like I'm doing right now. Just watch me. All round. All right, so at this point we're done with the circle. So the next thing you want to do is from the midpoint, you take 1 inch to the right and 1 inch to the left. All right, just like I'm doing on the waistline, the same thing, 1 inch to the right, 1 inch to the left. On the bust, on the base, the same thing, 1 inch to the right and 1 inch to the left. Okay, and then you connect the lines. You connect the lines just like I'm doing right now. Okay, so at this point I think we're very, very close to. Okay, so those 2 shapes I drew are the 2 types of corset shapes we have. So you can have the V-shaped corset, all right, where the V, meaning it's the snatching is on the waistline, all right, is on the corset waistline rather. All right, then the other one will be at the middle, so that one is giving us like a curve, whereas the other one is giving us a V. That's a sharp, it's giving us like a sharpness. All right, before, that's on the waistline before the hip. All right, but the second one is giving us that curve. All right, so all of this waist snatching, it depends on where you actually want it, basically. All right, so I'm going to show you the 2. So I forgot to write my measurement, so I just wrote my measurement: bust 36, waist 26, and then the hip 40. All right, so here I'm measuring my waist. All right, I'm measuring my waist here, and my waist that's 26 divided by 4. 26 divided by 4. All right, that's 6.5. 6.5. Here, don't mind me, I was dividing I was dividing the bust instead, so just bear with me. I thought I was dividing the waist. Okay. So your waist snatch could either be 1 inch or half an inch. Okay, that's what I just did there. I'm still going to correct it because the waist measurement I used, it was the bust I used instead of the waist. Okay, so I'm still going to correct it. So here now, I'm making sure that our waist snatching is not just on the side, but it cuts across all of the lines we have, both the dart line and everything. Do you get? Yes. So just to give us that firmness, all right, at that waist region. Okay, so we'll get back to that. So here we come in by 0.5 inches, and then we draw an arc, all right, to the under bust. Okay, you come in by 0.5, you draw the arc to the under bust, and then you measure your bust line, your bust measurement. That's what I just did here. You measure your bust measurement, all right, your bust measurement, which is your bust divided by 4. Please don't forget that is your bust divided by 4. Okay, so you take your bust measurement, and here you come up by 1 inch on that side. Oh my god. Okay, so here now you draw your arc at the upper part. You see, just follow it the way I'm doing it and you will get it perfectly. So due to our design, we'll just connect it. We're just drawing our arc. All right, just do it exactly the way I'm showing it to you. So that place was a bit pointy, so I'm correcting it because I want it to just to be a fine arc. All right, so the next thing now is our curves. All right, to give our bust a shape, so just start maybe 0.5 from the bust point, or 3/4, that's 3/4. Just start from somewhere, but not on the bust point. Okay, so that we won't have a sharp edge. So here the same thing you have underneath, you repeat it, 1 inch on the right, 1 inch on the left, and then you form your arc again, is what I'm doing right now. And then you form your arc again. I'm just extending the line, you know why later. Okay, you form the arc again. Please don't mind the background noise, sincerely. It is well. Okay, so at this point, okay, I think this is where I rectified the waist measurement now. Okay, yes, so my waist measurement is 6.5. okay, you remember that it's 6.5. so I'm snatching my waist by 0.5 on the side. Remember I said you can either snatch your waist by 1 inch, all right, or 0.5, okay, but not more than 1 inch, please. So on this side I decided to go with 0.5 because I also want my waist to be snatched on the dart line, all right, that I created. So I already took the 0.5 on the right and on the left, so you want to do the same. Okay, so due to the design, all right, we need the waist to be in the middle, not at the end. All right, so now we measure the 5 inches for the waistline, the waist measurement, the waist length rather. Okay, and then we got the middle, which is 2.5, and that's why I drew that line. So that will be a new waistline. Okay, that's a new waistline. So I repeated what I have, that's the 6.5. Now I repeated it, then I snatched my waist in by 0.5. That's what I did there. Okay, I snatched it in by 0.5. okay, I snatched it in by 0.5. So like I said, you can either do 1 inch or 0.5. okay, I made a mistake there, so I rectified it. Okay, so your waistline, then you snatch it by 0.5. so the same thing I did on the waistline. All right, I'm also going to repeat it on the dart line, but what I'm doing now is to get the hip measurement, so which is the 2.5 remaining at the outer part. All right, plus what's left minus 10. Okay, I just hope you are really getting everything I'm saying right now. Okay, I really hope you're getting everything I'm saying right now. Okay, here I'm trying to get a comfortable armhole. Okay, because it's corset, I don't want it to give me some kind of issues at my armpit region. So I always like to come down once I get my corset arc. All right, I just want to come down a bit, just for that ease. All right, I just want to come down a bit. That's what I did here. So you want to do the same. Okay, so the next thing I'm doing now is I'm connecting the bust to the waist and to the hip. The bust to the waist and to the hip. The bust to the waist and to the hip. Just follow what I'm doing, you will get it. All right, so you see, I think at this point I'd already replicated the 0.5 on the dart line, and so I'm connecting it. So all you just need to do is blend it. Just blend it from your under bust to your waistline, or your new waistline as the case may be, and then all the way to the base, which is your hip line. Okay, so you can see, just do it exactly the way I'm doing it right here. Okay, so you can see by the time we finish sewing this stuff, you will see how well our waist in that place will be snatched. Okay, so now all you just have to do is come out by 2 inches, which is your allowance. 2 inches, just come out by 2 inches, which is your ease allowance. But I think in the case of corset, it will eventually serve as seam allowance. All right, that's sewing allowance, I mean. Okay, all right, so that's that about that. So based on our design, all right, you know that there was a V that went all the way to our under bust, so that's what I'm creating here. So you just take it all down. You see that, so your 0.5 you came in by at that point is erased. Now the next thing here is the measurement of this point to the point where the curve is, and the other side is not equal, and we need to make it equal so that when we are sewing, one won't be more than the other. So I measured this one, is giving me 2 inches, and so I replicated it on the other side. All right, 2 inches. So you just curve it, blend it together with the right one, you can see that, and then draw your new arc. All right, just exactly as I'm doing it, just as I'm doing it. Okay, just as I'm doing it, you see that. All right, so I'm writing it now, 1 inch dart allowance on both sides. All right, just for accuracy's sake, so you'd understand better. Okay, so I guess we are done with the front pattern. The next thing we want to do now is our back pattern. We want to draft our back pattern. So I'm extending the lines. That's all I'm doing here. I'm just extending the lines. As you can see, I'm extending the lines, and then I'll draw a straight line, yeah, just to give me, you know, a nice measurement to work with. Okay, so I measured the bust, the waist, and then the hip. Okay, as you can see. All right, then you divide your waist into 2, so that's 3.5. okay, 3.5. all right, then the same way you did it on the dart, that's the bust dart at the front. All right, you do the same here too. You'd snatch it by 0.5 on both sides. Okay, that's what I'm doing now. You snatch it by 0.5 on both sides. You can see what I'm doing. Just do exactly what I'm doing. Okay, then the next thing you want to do is your snatch on the side as well. You see, 0.5, the same thing you have in front. Now at the upper part, the same thing, 3.5. At the down part, you can decide to do 3.5, take it straight, but I'm going to show you a better way. That better way is that you divide your hip into 2, which is 5 inches in this case, because my hip is 10, so it's 5 inches in this case. So from here now, you can now connect, all right, in the form of a curve. Just watch what I'm doing. All right, so here we have a straight line, all right, from the bust to the waist. So if you want to go straight, all right, I just dotted the lines. I dotted it because that's not the one, you know, I want you to do. So I dotted it, you can see. But the more effective one is what I'm about to do now. So you join, you can see what I'm doing. Just do exactly what I'm doing. You see that? So it has now given us that curve. All right, so here now we are connecting our bust on the side to our waist, okay, and then to our hip line or our base. Okay, all right, so you see that? Yes. So here now we want to blend it the way we did the front pattern. We're just blending, you know, our waist snatch in. We are blending it in. So just do exactly what you see me doing. Just blend it out. Just blend it out. Please don't mind the noise on the background. Just blend it out. Just blend it out. Okay, you can see the beauty it's giving us already. Okay, so here you can decide to come down by maybe 1 inch thereabout. It depends on how low you want your back to be. All right, you can leave it like this, and you can still decide to come down by, you know, 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, depending on how low you want your back to be. Okay, and if you want it high too, just measure upwards and, you know, wow us. Okay, so that being that done, the next thing, watch where I'm actually putting the eyelet mark. So those 2 places there is a vital point where you must put your eyelet mark, and then every other one you can continue. All right, so you can decide to choose the maybe 0.5 interval between the eyelets. All right, so what I'm doing here is just the 2 inches ease allowance for the back. All right, so at this point we are done. So I'm just marking 2 inches, you know, the arc. I know I could have just gone sharp out, but I just decided to, you know, do some kind of new design as the case may be. So now we are cutting. Just cut your pattern, cut your pattern. Cut your pattern. You can see the shape is already giving us. Just cut your pattern. Okay. I'm just showing you that it's now equal. So that's it. That's about that pattern, right?